This is a documentary of my journey into canoeing. I've been in a canoe, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times in my life. I'm not an experienced paddler, so before I go on multi-day wilderness trips, I wanted to develop my canoeing skills and become confident in a boat. What you're about to watch is a 5-day expedition canoeing skills course run by Paul Kirtley of Frontier Bushcraft and expert canoeing coach Ray Goodwin. It should be fun. What's the worst that could happen, right? Does not get much better than that. I'm going to put my face in the shade a bit just so you can see this landscape. In fact, let me get out from behind this camera. And we're here with Ray Goodwin, as I said earlier as well, and hopefully we're going to really glean some skills from him and learn some tips to get that foundation core skills ready for basically expeditions. That's why I'm here, guys. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to learn canoeing right from scratch, get good at it, learn the basics, and then hopefully have those skills for the rest of my life and be able to go on some nice big expeditions and longer distance trips. I want to start the right way for this one. But what a setting to be able to do this course on. I'm really looking forward to it. I've not met the group properly yet. I've only met a few of them. They seem like really good guys and girl. Let me quickly show you my shelter setup. Now everyone else has already gone to the meeting because I've faffed a bit because I've had to film this as well. But this is what I've gone for. It's a real simple, low, very low profile shelter. The reason this is slightly more shallow than I'd want, you know, that pitch. If it's heavy rain, I'm going to struggle and I'm going to have to lower it, but I can easily just slide these down and lower these corners down. The reason why I've gone for a shallow angle is A, I want to be able to see this beautiful view, but B, I have a lot of coverage above me, so if there's, you know, pretty heavy rain, that's going to buffer a lot of that, and therefore I should only really get heavy drips and droplets. But this is the front setup, so just 2 sticks, guy line tied out here, and that goes all the way down to lovely little boulder down there. That is a nice boulder. And just a guy line hitch here with a quick release loop as taught by Paul. He showed me how to do that. And then ground wise, I've just got this route. It's uneven. Can you see that, guys? It's kind of tilted towards the lake, which is the natural tilt. Now that's a nice boulder, sorry. So what I've done is I've actually, to save me being tilted and rolling down in the night, I've buffeted? I've, I don't know, pushed up against this tree root here, which has actually leveled my sleeping platform, my sleeping pad, which is really quite useful. So I'm not as, that's what would happen to my body if I didn't do that. So that's the plan. I'll let you know how I sleep in the morning. There's quite a lot of mosquitoes. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see the mosquitoes? Let me tell you guys, they're everywhere. Look at them, you buggers. I'm going to get eaten alive tonight, but when you're in a setting like this, you kind of don't mind. I slept average, I'd say. Not amazing, to be honest. There was quite a few bugs. I did put some bug spray on before I went to bed, but then it got really still in the night, and yeah, they got me good. Just in like the gaps of my sleeves and things like that. And then I was pretty hot in the sleeping bag, so I kind of undid it a bit, which just invited all the bugs in. So I got eaten alive even more, so it was a bit unsettled. But do you know, it's absolutely gorgeous morning, really nice morning. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on with the day. This is technically day 2. It's not, yesterday wasn't really day 1 because it was setup day, but let's call this day 1. This is where Ray's gonna hopefully teach us loads about the canoe and get us on the water, and yeah, we can start learning, which is gonna be awesome. But first up, I think a tea is on the cards, or actually maybe a coffee. Probably a coffee after last night's sleep, or lack of coffee.
The simplest knot to tie is a version of this, an overhand knot, because I say follow this to make the train tracks. So everything is parallel. Each pair has got one boat. So here's the rule. This is nothing to do with ordinary paddling. Each paddle must have at least 2 hands on it, but each paddle must have at least 1 hand from each person. So the challenge is to find a number of ways that you can propel your boat within those rules.
Before we went out to do some solo paddling, I teamed up with Hamish, and Ray got us doing some team bonding exercises and various challenges in the canoes. This was a great experience and a good way to start off the course to get us confident in the boats and used to using paddles and different stroke techniques. Once we gained some confidence on the water, Ray began to teach us a few of the basic strokes. To begin with, we were doing the pry stroke and the draw stroke to help us turn the canoes. Later on in the day, we began to learn the J stroke. Okay, so we've just had a really good morning. Part of it on the land, where Ray was teaching us about kind of the history of the canoe and the different designs, the different brands. Really interesting stuff. I think we started off with the draw stroke, then we went on to the pry stroke, and then just towards the end we started doing the J stroke, which I've done a bit of before, but it was still good to get Ray's expertise on the kind of finer details of it. We're stopping for a lunch break now, and then we're going to get back out in the water and learn some more strokes.
Also, they tend to be quite conical in terms of their shape. So do this preparation first. going. Some more of these going. I've still got my back to the wind. We can get them to burn faster by moving them around. And then if you're in camp, have everything ready to go before you go to light your fire.
So we're getting towards the evening of day one technically, but the second day that I've been here. And it's been a full-on day. It's been really good. I know I've not filmed much at all on the canoe itself. I think Paul did a bit of filming on the bank there. But I just wanted to get familiar with the canoe. You know, this is all fairly new to me. So I didn't want to be getting the camera out, potentially flailing around, either losing this camera or just not getting the right footage and shots. So I needed to get used to the boat first. I did actually go off and do some solo paddling as well, which was really nice. Ray let a few of us go off and do some solo stuff. And yeah, I'm getting used to the canoe. The one I'm using is a Prospector. It's by Who Canoes, which are a British company. And yeah, I think it's 15'6". So it's a large boat, but the idea is that I can take loads of gear in that, and also, you know, things like a stove for winter stuff. So stove, tents, canvas tents, dog, Emmy, loads of different gear in it. And also keep an eye out on the channel, because I might be teaming up with the guys at Who Canoe. So yeah, we'll be getting potentially a discount code for you guys, so keep an eye out for that. But this is brilliant. I'm loving it. It's been an education, to say the least. Ray really knows his stuff. He really knows his stuff. We've done just to highlight to you, we've done the draw stroke, we've done the pry stroke, we've done the J stroke, you know, basically the common one that makes you go forward. We've done all sorts of little paddling skills, which is really good. We've done all the basics of lifting a canoe, the types of canoes, the history of canoe. I don't want to go into too much detail about the course, because those of you guys that want to book on, and trust me, you will want to book onto this course, I don't want to spoil it for you, because there's so much stuff on this course and it's only day one. Paul's done a load of bushcraft stuff just now as well with the group. I think a lot of you guys would really enjoy that. So this is what I wanted to come for, you know. This is the crossover of bushcraft and canoeing. And this is the ideal course for it. This is the course for learning to canoe and learning bushcraft. And you can come onto this course with zero experience, absolutely no experience whatsoever, and you just want to get out in a canoe and learn. This is definitely one of the courses for you. So I'm having a blast, and I can't wait to develop my skills and build upon my skill set, get back out on the lake. I'm looking forward to the night where we go out and camp somewhere else and we move campsite. You can see my setup just back here. Like I said earlier this morning, the bugs are bad again tonight. We're on the west coast of this lake, of Lake Windermere, the western side, and the wind that we're getting at the moment is west-southwest and west, which means that basically it's killed off from this side, this bank, and it's just glassy calm out there. There's no wind, so the bugs are just going, these clouds of them. You can't really see them on the camera, but trust me, they're there. And the forecast is things like, you know, it's going down to 2 miles an hour at night, at 9 o'clock at night, which is just the perfect recipe for mosquitoes and bugs and biting bugs. So I've got to deal with that. I have got some bug protection, but I'm sleeping out in the open. You know, I don't have a net on my head or anything. I'm not in a hammock with a fly net, so I'm really getting nailed. But lesson learned, hey? Definitely lesson learned. I'm really pleased with the setup in general, though. I've got a great view. Lovely view. Really nice to wake up to. It's such a pretty lake, this. I've done the Lake District a fair few times. I've kind of avoided Windermere, just because when I've been here in the peak summer, it can get fairly busy. But at the moment, it's not been busy at all. The boat traffic is very minimal. We're pretty much the only canoeists on the lake, so it's great. So this is base camp for another two more nights. Tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night, 3 more nights, and then yeah, the next night, Thursday, we're off exploring, finding a new campsite. Thanks for sticking around. I'm looking forward to day 2. and whatever new experience and skills that we learn. Morning guys, had a much better sleep last night, much better. Feeling up for it, feeling up for some canoeing today. Look at these ducklings, hold on. Isn't that awesome? Nature at its finest. Hey Billy. Hey Billy. It's lovely and flat, isn't it? To the course. Yeah. Oh right. This is, yeah, this is it. It's yeah, I'm surprised I didn't do this years ago.
That's how I felt. I mean, I'm considerably older and
how long have you been doing it?
Younger.
How long have you been doing it?
What, about 5 minutes? About 4 years.
Okay.
I'm terrible at times. It could be 5, it could be 3.
Yeah, it's a great method actually of just travelling, isn't it? And you are that much more away from other people, like if you're solo paddling as well.
I said about 10 minutes down any stream or canal,
I bet
everyone's gone.
Yeah, I bet it's lovely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're in the middle of Lake Windermere now. We're basically, today's plan is crossing the lake for the first time because there's no wind today. So this is why it's so peaceful. This is why I've got the DSLR in the boat at the moment, because it's so flat. And we're just using this opportunity, Ray's saying, to cross the lake. He's very sensible. You know, he's very good. He judges the ability of the whole group. But there's a few canoe guys out there now destroying my stroke technique. But hey, the boat's going straight. That's one of the main things. Those Canada geese need to... We're now heading up the east side of the lake. So much wildlife here. Can't tell you the bird species we've seen, just amazing amounts of bird species. It is just incredible. I tend to favour my left side, this side for paddling. Everyone has their sort of favourites. It's great because Ray has Billy, his dog, just sat on the front of the boat at all times. Awesome dog, loves to play with water and throw and put sticks at your feet. But it's just nice to see man and his dog. Hopefully I get Jax, my dog, used to, he's been in a canoe a couple times on the canal, but he's not been on lakes, he's not been on locks, certainly not been on rivers. Again, another reason why I want to learn canoeing, guys. I want to be able to take my family canoeing and my dog, and if I'm going to do that, I want to do it properly, I want to do it safely. I want to learn all those primary core skills to begin with so that it's safe for them. And obviously reading the water and things like that, that's all part of this course. Ray teaches you about the wind, the water, when to go out, when not to go out. He knows his stuff, so this is all part of the journey, part of the adventure. Day 2 is looking like a scorcher. Look at this weather. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think we've got, I was speaking to my wife Emmy yesterday, I think we've got better weather up here 5 hours north than she does down there. So that tells me it's a bit of a rarity usually. Usually the north of England, you northerners get colder weather, 5-6 degrees colder than us soft fairy southerners. But yeah, it's a nice day today. Well, I say nice day, it's 15 degrees Celsius, 0 wind, which means it feels even hotter than it is. Got the sunscreen on. and we're just having a laugh. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. I'm just spinning around in the middle of the lake here just to show you a bit of Lake Windermere. It's absolutely stunning. The group are over here. There they are. We're now crossing back again to the west coast of the lake.
Maybe we should come and get wet feet, it's nice and cool, and drop it in exactly where you did. It was red once. Male and the female joint.
And then that clips in, and then you can tighten that down. A little bit of shape.
Yeah.
And you can tighten or loosen that depending on the wind.
Yeah.
As the winds were picking up towards the afternoon, Ray decided to teach us how to sail a canoe. He taught us how to lash together a mast and how to raft the canoes together to make a large boat. This is the first time I'd done something like this, so I was looking forward to the new experience. Yeah.
The guy at the back can't see him.
Well, we've just been for a paddle all morning. We did some sailing as well, which is absolutely awesome. Loved it. Really, really good fun. Learnt a lot as well, different knots, how to rig up the sail. And now we're doing the part I don't really want to do, to be honest, which is the capsizing and rescue skills. However, it's probably the most important. So, going to be wearing a head cam, going to be getting wet, and yeah, wish me luck. One of the main reasons for coming onto the Frontier Expedition Canoeing Skills course was to learn how to safely rescue a boat and to rescue a person. In this example, Paul is demonstrating two different rescue techniques. The first one involves being parallel to the boat and lifting it up by the central carrying yoke. Paul then lets the water drain out and flips the boat over. He then re-submerges the boat, ready for the second rescue technique. For this one, Paul approaches the bow or the stern end of the boat, and whilst holding the painter, he tilts it at an angle to allow the water to flow out. Once the suction shield has been broken, he passes the canoe over his own canoe and keeps it parallel. He then flips it over, makes sure it's safe and stable, grabs the painter again and slides it off. The third technique Paul demonstrates is when the boat is over and two paddlers are in the water. He sends one paddler around the back end of his canoe to act as a counterbalance. Meanwhile, he tilts the canoe towards the other paddler so that they can then get in. Once this paddler's in, he tilts it again for the second paddler, making sure that he's leaning back, and then they are asked to sit down in the boat. After watching Paul demonstrate the three rescue techniques, it was our turn to give it a go. Alright.
Got your boat, come around the other side of my boat and get round to the rest behind me so I can actually boat in front of me.
Yeah. Got it.
Back to there. You're counterbalancing.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
And then you come back round again.
Right, go around.
I counterbalance. I counterbalance both of us. So the paddle goes in first.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then we counterbalance. And what I do is I tip the boat to you a little.
Yeah.
You swim in.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're good. That's it, just stay there.
Oh, that's a good idea. Can you give me a minute?
Right, keep hold of your boat. Okay, need you to swim round the back of my boat.
Okay.
Keep your paddle with you.
Yeah.
And then just act as a counterbalance. That's it, and hold on tight there. Okay. And then I put it my side.
Yeah.
Keep on to the boat.
I'll come back round.
Yeah, swim around with the paddle. Put the paddle in, keep it safe. Then I'm going to tip the boat slightly towards you.
Yeah.
As I do, you kick.
1,
3, 2,
1. That'll do. Push it
in.
out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nearly got a gunnel in the face then.
That's alright. Oh.
Good stuff. Colder than it looks, isn't it?
Water, hold on to me for a second.
Yeah, I still got it, still got it.
I've paused this screenshot here to show you what went wrong in this particular rescue situation. Duncan was leaning on the side of his gunnel towards my boat, and I was also leaning on the inside of my gunnel towards his boat. This resulted in both of our boats flipping to the side and Duncan falling in the water.
We're going to need a double rescue, let go by in a minute. Okay. That's it, hold on. Now we'll do a proper rescue. Okay, let's come round to the back of mine again. Come round to the back of mine. It's all for the camera. Keep going round the back of mine, I'll do it again. Now I need to flip your boat, so hold on. Okay, I'll do the X rescue again.
Okay.
Did you catch your face then? Are you right?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm fine.
Okay, watch your fingers. I've got more water in the boat now as ballast, so we'll be okay.
Makes it much more unstable as well.
It does, doesn't it? I think that's what happened. Okay, let me get this round. Right, swing back round. You got it. Same again on 3. I'll 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. And then in.
Yeah.
There we go. Like to make it interesting.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have your boat, this boat over the top of your boat. It's alright, I'm good.
Trying to kick it. Is that up? There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
Now you get in, Pete.
Okay.
3, 4.
Kick. Up, down. That's it. Slowly, slowly, slowly.
Hold on.
Hold on. There we go. So we just got back from the capsizing, which, to be honest, it's cold. The lake is really cold. It seems really sunny, but it's actually blimmin' freezing. But it was a real learning experience, and Ray basically taught us, and Paul demonstrated it. He taught us 2 canoe rescue techniques, which were really, really efficient. I found I think it's called the X Rescue easier, which is where you lift the bow or stern of a canoe across the body of your canoe. Obviously, pour all the water out, let the water come out, then flip it up and then slide it back in. The other method was kind of when it was parallel. I can't remember the exact name for it. You tip it up, let the water drain out, and then grab the central thwart or the carrying yoke and lean back. And you have to kind of use your back muscles to get all that water out and then flip it back over. I found that one a bit harder. I guess because some of the canoes where they have that hooked top to them, it was catching my canoe, and it made it quite difficult. So I found it easier actually doing the X one, where you get the bow or the stern and you just slide it over your own canoe. Again, that was so. I've learned so much on this course already. It's unbelievable, and it's really good having Paul demonstrate it out in the water, and then Ray on the bank explaining what Paul was doing. So we went from there. Then we went into the actual kind of human rescue, and that's where we got into the water. And again, that was super interesting, super interesting. Not as easy as I thought it would be. And then we did an all-in rescue, which was the one you saw right at the end, which is when both boats are flipped and everyone's in the water, and you have to kind of slide one canoe on top of the other canoe, flip that over. And that was hard, but it was good with 3 of us. I can imagine it's hard with 2 of you, but it was good with 3 of us because everyone was kind of keeping each other motivated. So we're about 6:30 now. We've warmed up, dried up, we've got gear hanging and drying behind me on a ridge line that I've just strung up above my tarp, and on my tarp line as well. But we're going to go get a warm drink. Well, I'm certainly going to get a warm drink, and then we're going to get dinner on, because 6:30, get some dinner on, sit by the fire, talk some stories, and who knows what tomorrow will bring. I'm having a blast. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow already, and actually this breeze that we've got tonight is going to be so much better for the bugs down here. I only got 2 bites last night, which is good going for me. First night I had a few more, but shelter is holding up. It's a good shelter, tried and tested. Tried and tested. Do you know, I can't wait. This is definitely the foundation for me to go on bigger and better trips. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
We're making chapati.
Chapati for our British friends.
Okay, very kind of you.
Good morning, guys. Another amazing day. Absolute bluebird out there. It's just not a cloud in the sky. It's going to be a really good one again. I think temperatures are getting up to about 16 degrees Celsius, which is good for this time of year. Here come my best friends. Oh, I love them. Love them. You keep waking me up. That's it. They're nice to look at, but the noise they make just grates on me. Absolutely grates on me. Shut up. Cut. Oh dear, sorry about that, guys. So the plan today is, I think this morning Paul is doing his axe masterclass, which I can highly recommend. I've already actually done some filming of that before in a video with Paul, which I'll put in a link either up here or down in the description below. So I'm not going to film loads of that, but it really is a masterclass, and it's a great informative section that Paul does with his courses, and even just his axe skills course. I'll put links to as well to his courses. They're just phenomenal. They're really good. So if you're looking to improve your axe skills, then yeah, watch a bit of this segment, and also look in the description below to the video I did with him, because it's awesome. It's really good. I've learnt loads from that. Wind is west-southwest. 9 miles an hour, going up to about 11 miles per hour, so light, you know, nothing choppy. There's not going to be any waves out there, just a little ripple on the water. And it's, yeah, I had another good night's sleep. I woke up once where I was just a bit too hot in my sleeping bag, zipped it open and used it almost like a duvet, and yeah, I was fine after that. But I'm in the rhythm now, day 3, into the rhythm of it all, just feeling a bit more settled into that routine. It always takes, on a multiple day trip, I always think it takes to about day 3 where you find your rhythm.
So there's a few things that you might want to be doing with an axe, but it's all generally quite small carving, small splitting, clearing, and that's absolutely fine. And it's also very portable. It fits inside a pack very easily, and so we can look at using those in particular. When we take an axe with us, I'd always recommend taking a saw with you as well. Just in the same way as if you're carrying a belt knife, you probably carry a small saw. Knives and axes are very good at going along the grain, carving, splitting. As soon as you start going across the grain, you know, anybody who's ever done bow drill that's cut a notch out of a bow drill set, as soon as you start trying to cut that notch out, it's a tiny little wedge of wood, but it takes quite a long time because you're going across the grain with a knife. The other thing with axes when you're going across the grain, if you want to cut a log in half, you've got to open up quite a big cut to get through it. You can't just cut a very narrow cut through, but you can with a saw. So saws are very good at going across the grain, and they're also very safe to use. Yeah, you can sharpen your axe with one of those, and it's relatively straightforward. These are great for travel. As I say, mine's in my rucksack at the moment. But you've got diamond on one side that's quite aggressive, which is great for taking metal off quite quickly, and then you've got a ceramic side on the other side which creates a very fine edge, and the two together is a good combination. You also don't need oil or water, so it's nice and clean and very easy for travel. You don't need extra things with you, you just can take that, and it's very good. And in terms of sharpening your axe, I'm not going to do a full sharpening session, but you just, rather than with your knife, you might take the knife to the stone. What we invariably do with axes is we take the stone to the axe, and so you're working on here, and you can look down the edge and see what's going on. Yeah? And similarly, just for the other side, you can look down and you can work there. And most axes have a convex bevel, so if you sharpen just right at the edge, you're going to end up putting a second angle on it, yeah, and changing the shape of it over time. So to maintain that bevel shape, when you're sharpening, you have to take metal off the whole bevel, and to do that you have to work the edge and then change the angle slightly and work back, change the angle again, work back, so you're removing metal from the whole bevel, not just at the edge, and then you maintain the same shape as you had originally. Black stone is good, and again, it's not a long stone. It's designed for sharpening axes, and again, it's used in a circular motion where you're putting pressure towards the edge. The advantage of that in some ways is that it gives you more finger clearance. Yeah, your fingers aren't hanging over the edges, you can hold it back. You can use them with water or with oil, but if you start using them with oil, you have to stick with oil, because the oil soaks into the stone and it repels the water, and you need to continue using oil with them rather than water. So I use water with mine because I'm more likely to find water on my canoe trips than oil, funnily enough. We're in an area where it's predominantly European larch, which is this one here that we've just been talking about, Larix decidua. Some of it is dead standing though, some of it is still alive. It's hard to tell. You need to look towards the top to see, particularly the way that this has been planted, and it has been planted close together, so you don't get a lot of greenery low down. That's great for us if we're collecting stuff for our fires. This is going back to what I was talking about on Monday evening. Yeah, a great place to find kindling, and it's not just specific to larches, that all the needled species, when they grow in relatively mature woods, tend to lose their foliage lower down because there's not much light here, and so you get these dead branches that are protected by the canopy above as well. It's quite dry, even in rainy conditions this stuff stays dry for quite a while. It's not down on the ground, so this is our first port of call for firewood. Typically, you know, we can go into this type of woodland, which is often associated with where you might be canoeing because it's that type of terrain. you know, where you've got lots of lakes and rivers, and you're at the bottom end of the boreal forest, the top end of the temperate forests, you've got a lot of spruces and pines, etc. But we might also want to take some larger pieces, and we need it to be dead standing. There's some birch in here as well. This one is dead. One way often, as well as looking to see whether or not it's got leaves at the top, is to have a feel. Yep. If this was full of water, it wouldn't be as springy, it wouldn't move as quickly. Yeah, it would be more damped. Yeah. Whereas this is quite light, and it moves and it's quite twangy. Yeah, you can see that it's dead all the way up just by shaking it. Yeah. So in terms of us getting some material that is dry, this is another option. This type, you know, sort of wrist thickness to forearm thickness is often a good size of dead standing wood to go for, because it's easy to split, and we're going to look at some splitting techniques shortly, and it's also not very hazardous to chop down.
Okay, what we're doing at the moment, guys, is we're now crossing Windermere, and we're doing about a 6k paddle today, which should be quite fun. We're going out for lunch, taking that with us. I've got a bit more gear in the boat now, so it's a bit better balanced. But it was windy earlier, and it's now calm right off the bat, which is nice. It's a little ripple, but other than that, it's looking good.
Van de lijnvisserij.
We're over halfway along the lake now, and it's just as pretty wherever you go. A little bit more built up here though with boats, because we're coming to the bit more populated section.
You can do crossbow rudders. You can push off the bottom.
Yeah. So we're end of day 3 now, back at the shelter, and it's been a good one. It's been a really good one. We paddled most of the afternoon today, 2 or 3 hours, all the way up one side of the lake, heading south, and then under that really picturesque bridge, stone bridge there,
came back through it, and then came a couple hours back, and obviously we had that lunch stop on the way, which was handy. So it's been a good one. I'm learning loads. I'm getting right into that rhythm now of the J stroke and just controlling the boat and getting familiar with the boat, which is awesome. I'm into the rhythm of the sleeping. It's just that efficiency, coming home, hanging up all the wet gear, doing it all in that regimented order, charging batteries and things like that for the GoPro. So yeah, I'm getting there with that. It's taken to day 3, as it does when I do these multiple day trips. It always takes about till day 3 to really get sorted with it. So I've got charging stuff everywhere, and yeah, camp's a bit messy, but I've just tidied it. The plan is now, what is this time? It is 7 o'clock. Paul's been cooking away again. I think we're on for a Thai green curry tonight, which is awesome. So we're going to have that. This is what I've got, the Neil pad there, and I've got the trainers just hanging on the back at the top of the oars. The PFD, buoyancy aid. There's the oars there. This is just one of the dry bags where I've just been emptying out. Got the wet trousers just here. Airing the sleeping bag. I always air that every morning. Sorry, I'm just filming into the sun. Wet clothes from yesterday where I was capsizing and things. Same with down here, and it's a little bit messy on the bed there with charging stuff. But the tarp's stayed rigid for the whole 3 days so far. Haven't had to change it at all, but we've not had much wind. And then I've got the dry bag here, so I know where it is. Sticks are all in place still. Yeah, it's all coming together. It's all, base camp's a bit messy down there though. Another dry bag there. But you just can't beat that view. That's awesome. Well, you can beat it, but that's pretty good given from where I've done most of my videos lately. Not much of a view, quite dense woodlands, but that's lovely. Look at the leaves, boy. Look at the leaves. I'm under a nice big oak tree here, and I think I said there was an ash the other side. Yeah, it's ash. Sweeping pan shot.
Oh, it looks good, Paul.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Nope.
Morning guys, it's now Thursday, we're on day 4, and today it's a different sort of day weather-wise, a bit more overcast. I think it's a bit cloudy pretty much all day, a bit more of a breeze out there, but I think today we're going to be talking about kit. Ray and Paul will be talking through kit and how to pack it, what to pack. This shelter will be coming down, I'll be packing up all my gear. I'm just hanging it up and airing it at the moment, and I'll be packing this all down. And obviously I'll take the tarp with me, and we'll see what other shelter I can set up wherever I do end up going on the side of the lake. But as with usual on the course, as we have been with the last few days, the priority this morning is food and some coffee. Some much needed coffee. Well into the routine now, but first day, this is the first day I'm starting to feel tired. I slept okay, but just tiredness. Oh, I saw a big perch as well yesterday actually, up down the south end of the lake, near where it narrows to go into the kind of river. I saw a massive perch. So to anyone who's perch fishing, get down on Windermere south side. It is awesome. It was a huge perch, and actually there was a few other small ones around it as well. But this thing was a beast. Come right up to the boat, it like followed my paddle, which was cool to see. The water was really, really clear. Don't have any fishing gear on me, sadly. But, yeah, I wonder if that was part of the... because the river flows into it, whether this would be part of the closed season in that particular section I was in. I don't know. I don't know.
Here they go. There they are. Look, don't land here. I had the quick breakfast. Lovely coffee, bit of bannock that the guys cooked last night. Plan today is we've got to take these shelters down, and then we're heading out still as a group. I think I said solo yesterday, but we're not. We're going as a group still, packing all our gear up, and we're basically moving to another site further down the lake. So we're getting used to packing gears in canoes, getting the trim right, balancing, using backpacks as ballast and distributing the weight evenly. So that's going to be interesting. I know a little bit about that anyway from fishing on Dad's boat. He's taught me all about trimming boats and things like that. So I already know a fair amount about that. But obviously that's a power boat. It's got an engine on it. This is going to be slightly different because it's a canoe and it's a lot less stable than Dad's boat is. But it should be interesting. So we're going to learn all about that, pack the gear in the boats, head down the lake, have some lunch further down the lake, and then set up a new camp. And I'll probably do a different shelter. That's the shelter that I've done on this trip.
During the next section of the course, Ray and Paul talk to us about the various gear that they take with them on their canoeing expedition trips. They talked through a variety of different backpacks and dry bags, some with supports, some without, and even some tried and tested traditional backpacks. But I think the most important message that Ray and Paul were trying to get across to us was always be prepared and make sure that you keep your kit in a dry bag within a dry bag. Once we had the gear packed up and camp was broken down, Ray showed us how to lash gear to the boats and how to put it in the right position so that the boat has a good trim. We then did the same ourselves and headed back out onto the lake.
Windiest day we've had so far, but look at the sun, it's all out, weather's good, everyone's in a good mood still, and today is day 4, so we're moving on to another site to camp. We've had lunch, brief stop for lunch, and now we're on the north side of the lake. Yesterday we did the south, we're on the north, and we're coming around the narrow end of the lake now. You can hear some masts clinking where there's some yachts moored up, and I think, to be honest, we go back on ourselves to get back to another campsite. Coming out into the wind now, and there's my friends. Peaceful. And that's the guys just up ahead off that little peninsula with that tree sticking out. Plenty of wildlife. Plenty of wildlife. Here we go, here we go, here we go. There's usually a third one. Is he there? Oh. No third one? Third one? Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes! So right now we're doing a portage, only a short one, but just getting used to carrying the gear. Then we're going to go back and carry the boats. It's only a very short portage, but it's just getting used to doing it, lifting boats, etc. Always learning, always learning.
Okay, yeah, I'm good. Now, that's sitting comfortably, it's not on my neck, and that's comfortably, and we can go for a walk.
There's the tandem boat, so you're coming round and then you're there, okay? The other option is to kind of straight back, lift it onto your leg and do similar to what Ray did, and use your leg to throw it a little bit, okay? Walk forwards to there and then onto there, okay? Push it off from there and then you can walk it back to there. And there's less leverage, you can bring it down quite gently. There you go. And then just walk it forward. That's the one.
Yeah.
Right, we're rounding off the day, people. I say rounding off the day. We're rounding off the paddling day. Heading to the final campsite of the trip, which is a different area. We're going to camp in a different area where we did from the first 4 nights. So that's a bit overexposed. And yeah, it's now 6 PM. So we're going to probably set up camp relatively quickly and then get some food on, I reckon. Food has been absolutely insane on this trip, absolutely awesome, and just like every evening we've had so far, it's now stilling off. The lake is going like glassy calm, which is just awesome. It's been a wicked trip. It's not over yet, still one more night, and then tomorrow I'm off to the Bushcraft show for 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, hopefully meeting some of you guys, which will be really cool. By the time this video is out, I would have already been back from the Bushcraft show and probably planning the next adventure. So, as I said at the beginning of this film, that this is obviously a slightly different episode to what I normally do. And not all my canoe videos will be like this. This is the starter. This is the lesson, the main lesson. I wanted to get it right. Learn all about the safety, rescue techniques, paddling skills, portaging skills. Look, I could have gone out and done it, of course I could, but I wouldn't have been doing it right. And I would have probably done it fine, done the trip fine, but at the end of the day, it's not worth that risk. If something bad did go wrong, and I didn't know how to do rescues, or if I was with my wife and Jax and something went wrong, the boat goes over, you know, I now know how to rescue a boat, which is pretty important, I think. So it's more for the safety and protection of them than just me. Way we've gone dark now. So that was the reasoning behind all of this. And this has been an incredible course. I would highly recommend this to anyone, UK or abroad, looking to learn canoeing the sort of proper way. Ray is an incredible coach. Paul is also very helpful, and as usual, very good with the bushcraft skills. Which there's huge chunks of this course that I have not filmed, huge chunks, because I didn't want to film it all. Because you guys need to come on this course to see for yourself, learn for yourself. It's really good, really informative, and I'm fortunate enough to have a great group of people with us. So if anyone in the group that I'm with now is watching the film, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you, and we had some good laughs. So let's get, typical, the wind picks up just as I'm about to get in. It almost looks like a little island we're staying on. The wind is picking up again. But I'm looking forward to getting back out on this again, doing some other trips, not just here, sorry about the wind, not just in England but abroad as well, potentially. Keep an eye out for those. Right, let's get in. Yeah, Billy, good boy. Good boy. Billy. Starting to lose light now, guys, so I just thought I'd show you the quick setup, which I'll show you again more in the morning. Pinned down with some rocks, and pinned down at the back there with rocks, and a hanging line at the top. And that's my view this evening. Awesome.
Probably got one of the best nights sleep last night, I'd say. It's windier today, but it is sunny. Blue sky day, which is awesome. This is day 5? Yeah, day 5 now, so we're on to the last day. And I think, obviously, breakfast this morning at this new site, and then we're going to pack up the gear, load the boats, and head back down the west coast of the lake. Back to base camp. But I think before we go, I think Paul might be doing a few more skills, bushcraft skills this morning, and then we'll head back, pretty much head back after that.
Less robust, where I can feel like I'm more
Particularly if you're only using your knife, but elbow to fingertip is absolutely fine. Same as if you get any undulations, just keep going, maintain that smooth, flat surface.
I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Paul Kirtley and Ray Goodwin for putting on a really good course, teaching us the skills that we need to get out there and go canoeing. Thank you also to all of the people on the course. You're a great bunch. It was a pleasure to be out there with you paddling, and hopefully I'll see some of you again soon. And finally, thank you to you guys, the viewers, for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon in the next episode.